Well, hello there. Long time no see. I'm here to bring you a nice little video today to kind of explain the whole PSN situation here. There seems to be a lot of confusion, and obviously Sony can't tell you specifically what's going on because of the details of exactly, what is exactly happening to the PlayStation Network right now. Actually, a lot of sites aren't really telling you what's going on, and I have a theory. Now, underline the word theory because that's exactly what it is. This is a theory, and I'm 99, in my personal opinion, I'm 99% sure that this is exactly what's going on and what happens here. Okay, so we all know about custom firmware. I mean, if you're subscribed to this YouTube channel, you probably are fully aware of custom firmware, what it is. We all know that, hacking on the PS3 has happened and is still possible and whatnot. And I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with it or not. I know that we haven't really on the Code Reality channel here, and there's a good reason for that. But that's for another video. I'm not going to go into that today. But recently there was an exploit that was found with the Rebug custom firmware. I don't know if it came with the firmware or if it was discovered after the firmware came out. But the Rebug firmware, from my understanding, I could be wrong, correct me if I am wrong, but this video is just kind of like a basic general understanding of the whole situation, not the specifics here. So from what I understand is that the Rebug custom firmware for 3.55 consoles, I believe, allows you to access the PSN, but not the regular PSN. It allows you to access a debug PSN, which is what the developers use to test things and whatnot. And that also lets you go back online on Black Ops and technically unban yourself, even though you're not playing on the regular Black Ops servers, you're playing on the debug Black Ops servers. That's just what I know. That's probably wrong. If it is, go ahead and correct me in the comments if you want to. But from what I understand is that this Rebug firmware not only lets you go on the PSN, on the debug version of the PSN, which is a completely separate network from the US PSN, Japanese PSN, and the EU PSN. This is a testing environment for Sony, and what's great about this is that on this separate network, you guys can pirate games and pirate content from the PlayStation Store with this Rebug firmware. Obviously, I don't promote piracy, but it's wrong. So, what exactly is happening with the PSN? Well, today they released a statement here today on the 23rd, and they said that they have completely suspended the PSN, and what they are doing is they are rebuilding the entire PlayStation Network. Now, why would they rebuild the entire PlayStation Network? Well, right now, if you don't already know this, if you play on your PlayStation a lot and you understand how it works a little bit from a higher technological standpoint, someone who knows a little bit about computers and how they work and whatnot, you would kind of notice this. Certain games have inbuilt stores in them, right? For PlayStation Home, for example, you walk up to, a store or whatever, and then in comes the inbuilt PlayStation Store. It's embedded right into the game, right? There's other games that have that. Burnout Paradise has the PlayStation Store built right into it. When you buy something, it automatically, pings the thing or whatever and brings up the actual PlayStation Store. There's not billions, but there's a lot of games out there on the PlayStation 3 that will let you directly connect to the PlayStation Store and gather content. Okay, so what we can gather from that is that the PlayStation Network is completely integrated with every single game, whether it's through the PlayStation Store or just integrated that way, period. Okay, so what happened here is that this Rebug firmware, as I said earlier, it lets you completely get anything you want from the PlayStation Store for free. Okay, so now look at the GeoHot case, right? Obviously, GeoHot's argument was, that he didn't support piracy, even though custom firmware completely allows it to do that. We all know that in the back of our heads, but I mean, from a a political standpoint and from a legal standpoint, we're not going to openly admit that that's what we were doing it for. We're just going to say it was for homebrew. But everybody knows in the back of their mind that's exactly what the whole motive behind that was. I mean, maybe some people really love homebrew and all that. I do too, but I mean, let's all admit it. It's a great way to get free games. Alright, so not that I'm promoting that, I'm just telling you that that's how it is. But that's basically, you look at the whole GeoHot case, right? Sony was very, very, very serious about that. A year ago or 2 years ago, whenever it was, when Other Us got removed, that was to prevent, the PlayStation 3 from being hacked, from piracy happening. When that happened, huge outlash from Sony. They really did everything in their power to prevent piracy because they knew that they really already were losing money on the PlayStation 3, and now that there's piracy, it's just gonna go shithole downhill from there. Same concept with the jailbreaking dongles that came out last September, somewhere in that time frame. They released firmware updates to prevent that from happening, and then we saw the we saw Team Overflow in December release the the custom firmware stuff, encryption keys, all that great stuff, and that's what caused the downfall of the PS3. So Sony really is doing everything in their power to prevent piracy, and this PSN thing is just another great example of why it's down. Obviously, they're not going to admit that. They said that there was an external intrusion. Now, that's pretty much exactly what it is, because if you think about it, if you're on rebug firmware, you're on a debug version of the PlayStation Network. You're not supposed to be on that network, but you have access to it, and you can still connect to the debug PSN, I believe, right now. I'm probably wrong. There's a few people I know that have done the rebug thing, but I don't know if they're still on. I don't talk to them that much, but I mean, I do know people who have done the rebug stuff, but yeah, so this whole thing is because of the PlayStation Store exploit that they found on the rebug firmware. So right here on the PlayStation blog, that's basically what they're saying. The PSN's been down for a couple of days. So what exactly does this mean for everybody else? Well, that means that this has been down since Wednesday. If they're going to rebuild the entire PlayStation Network, this could be more than another day or two. This could be a lot longer than that. This could be a week-long process, a 2-week-long process. Who knows? My personal prediction is that it'll be back up by hopefully Tuesday this week. I mean, I would assume that they would have it up either by Tuesday or before Tuesday. I don't think they would let it go on much longer. I mean, they're probably, obviously they're working around the clock to get this back up as soon as possible, because every minute the PlayStation is down, or the PSN is down, they're losing money. So, but it's better to take it down than to keep it up and let people pirate content from the store from their standpoint. So in case you didn't know, there you go. This is a nice 9-minute long, 10-minute long video that I made to kind of show you what exactly is happening with the PSN, since not very many people are being told these kinds of things. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Rate, comment, and subscribe. See you guys later.